So the first thing to do to control your browser with Agent Zero is to install Agent Zero to one of our one-liner script. Or if you already have Agent Zero installed, you can just go in our settings and check for updates the usual way. You can go to our documentation. We completely revamped our documentation, so now you have a full onboarding flow, explanations and tutorials about the CLI connector. Our CLI is not like other CLI agents. Our CLI is not standalone. It's a bridge between Agent Zero running on Docker and your host machine. So it's useful whenever you want to control your browser on your host, or when you're running a VPS, which is not very powerful and maybe too slow to run the browser inside the Docker, which is our built-in browser. You can see here, this is the browser inside Docker. The idea is that once you install the CLI, you are able to control your own host machine as well as the Docker. So after installing Agent Zero and running through this guide, you can also follow through with the onboarding to configure models and providers. We have a full onboarding flow now, which is new. You can select first if you want to use local models or cloud models, where you can also choose to use your ChatGPT or Codex plan to run Agent Zero. Now we can show you how to install the CLI, which is another one-line script like Agent Zero. We already have a video. I will link the video. Here we can copy and paste in our terminal. It should take just a few seconds to install the CLI. All right, and now we can run with AO in our terminal. Oh, typo. Right, by default, the CLI auto-connects to a running Agent Zero instance. This is why I recommend you to first install Agent Zero and run it to our installer, and then you install and run the CLI after Agent Zero. So it auto-connects and you don't have to do anything. Of course, you can also opt out of the auto-connection, and you can just view our commands. You can see you can disable auto connection, disable Docker discovery, and also connects directly by specifying the URL. Here I'm connecting to the same instance, but it's just to show you. And you can see that we have a path to connect to any URL, any remote instance. Now I walk you through how to use your host browser. The first thing to do is to run this /command browser host. We have browser host or browser container. It goes without saying that the browser container is the one that I showed you earlier inside Agent Zero. So now we are in bring your own browser mode. This is not enough. So to really be able to control your Chrome browser, you have to visit this page, which is Chrome Inspect, the remote debugging page, and you have to allow. You are not needed to know memory this URL, because test the browser, our agent will just give you the URL to visit. Let me show you. It fails and it tells us to visit the page and to enable. You can go here, we allow, so now the server is running on this port, and now we can try again. Let me show you. Visit example.com. All right, you can see that now we have to allow. It's just one time, so you don't have to allow for any navigation, because it would be annoying, obviously. But here you can see that we can actually work on multiple tabs, but now it's active, so we can work with our browser. For example, right now I'm still releasing the version 1.14. So now we can try using the browser, for example, to control the CI pipeline that I'm running to release the version. For example, do you see the make self-update tab running? Another good thing to know is that our CLI runs with read and write enabled by default, but the code execution on your own machine is turned off to avoid the risks of running on your machine freely without you allowing for that. So you can just press F4 to enable and disable the remote execution on demand. You can see that the agent has awareness of our tabs, and I can also, maybe I can ask to please switch to that tab. All right, good. So can you please monitor the CI running? It's reasoning about the content now. Oh, it's actually monitoring, so this is a successful test. And now we can run another CLI, so I can show you that we can really do wonders here. So let's try running a new chat. When you run AO, the command, it auto connects to the last active context. So you just run /new and you are in the new chat to switch chat. You can also change models. You can change the preset here. And you can also switch to an active project from this dropdown. Let's try to open x.com, Agent Zero AI. Right, we have to allow, why we have to allow the second time? Because it's a new context. So if I'm running the browser as much as I want in this context, which is the first that we run, we don't have to allow anymore. But here, of course, we have to do a second time. And you can see that we have two CLIs running on the same browser with my Chrome profile. So we are not losing any cookie. You can see that it's already logged in and we don't have to do anything much. I think this is very valuable for anyone that has to log in, because our Docker browser is running on Playwright. So the bot detection triggers. And for that reason, for example, Google knows that we are not a human and we cannot do as many actions as we want. Nice to know is that even if in the settings of the browser we are using our host browser, we can actually use the Docker browser manually while our own browser is running. You will see that we are not able to log in because Google will tell us that this app may not be secure. And this issue presents each time you try to use Playwright in a browser. So let's try the same with our CLI. Now open gmail.com. Okay, switch to its tab, because sometimes you have to tell the agent, you have to be precise in your instructions. For example, here, of course, it opened my email, but it opened in the background. So the best thing to know is that you can run multiple tasks in the background with multiple tabs of the browser. Another nice to know is that we can actually run Gemma 4 or whatever is your local model that you're running with Olama or LM Studio to control the browser, which is something that, for example, for anyone that wants to be GDPR compliant or just want to keep the data, the screenshots, especially the DOM data in their local machine, they are covered. They are fully covered here. And this is for the host browser. I'm going to show you more in the next days, but if you visit our documentation in the website, you can see that we really took care of creating new tutorials for browser, desktop, the CLI especially. And so you should be covered. If anything, you can just write in our Discord community and we'll try to sort it out for you.